Chance to explore your family tree in Chisholm this fall, and the St. Louis County Mental Health Advisory Council is looking for volunteers. All that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start in Duluth, where ATV Minnesota, local ATV clubs, and county officials are gathering to begin discussions on a new Duluth ATV club. This organizational meeting will be held at Mr. D's Bar and Grill at noon tomorrow. The goal of this new group is to continue work being done on trails in St. Louis County, Lake, and Cook counties by finding connections and legal routes in and around Duluth. Whether or not you already belong to a club, you're invited to attend. The goal is to have 50 to 100 riders attend tomorrow's meeting. And next we head to the Iron Range, where the Minnesota Discovery Center is hosting a new genealogy workshop this fall. The Iron Range Research Center within the MDC will host the 6-session workshop. Called Your Roots, the series will help people discover how to dive into genealogy, ways to organize your research, and how you can share your story with the rest of your family. Sessions start this Saturday at 10:30 a.m. with Genealogy 101. We'll have sign-up information on our website. And we wrap up in St. Louis County, where the Mental Health Advisory Council is looking for volunteers. The council serves Duluth and other communities in the southern part of the county. Ideal candidates are anyone with professional training related to mental health, lived experiences of their own, and those who are passionate about improving services in that area. The application deadline is October 20th, and the Mental Health Advisory Council meets the third Thursday of each month. Terms are 2 years long, and we'll have those application details on our website. And as always, if there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we take you around the Northland, city by city.